But I really want to start with you guys just realizing that you all have your own unique personality. And it's really important. And oftentimes you don't find your brand. Your brand will develop over time. It's not something all of a sudden you go, hey, this is who I am and this is this is my brand. Brands are developed. They're not instant. And that's a lesson I learned through BJ, because I'm always looking for some kind of cute phrase or something that seems like it, fits me. But a lot of times people and your interaction with people is part of that brand that develops over time. So just know that you are all unique and brands are developed over time. However, it's really important whenever you're in business, you got to be able to market yourself. People have to know who you are and what you do, what you offer, what makes you unique. You also need to be very specific with who is your ideal audience. You guys are selling real estate, but you could be selling land, commercial. You could focus on buyers. You could focus on sellers. And then when you break down people, there's demographics of people. There's, you've got ages, you got, family setup. Do you prefer to work with move ups, move downs? Do you prefer to work with first time home buyers? If you're going to be working in the Metroplex, you better you're going to be doing first time home buyers, better get really well acquainted with condos and the difference in warrantable and non-warrantable. The list goes on. Hello, how are you?
I'm super.
I'm so glad you're here. Sign in, Melissa, just so we know from an attendance standpoint, even though if you're not here for CE, still sign in.
Right. I'm not here for CE, but I'm
You're here because you have knowledge that you're going to share with us, and I appreciate
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So just know that we are going to talk about Facebook and how to run Facebook ads. But it's really important before you ever start marketing and spending any kind of money that you know who your audience is and you know what you want your audience to do with the information you're sharing, right? Your call to action needs to be real clear. Somebody needs to mute. So knowing that information is key. Who am I? Who do I want to serve? How do I want to serve them? And then you can figure out, based on who your audience is, where is my audience? Some based on demographics are on Facebook. Some are on Instagram. Your Instagram is typically your younger crowd. Facebook is your older crowd. So if I were focusing on sellers who were making the move, they are fixing to get a handful of money. They're not sure if they should put all of their money into the next house or if they should hold some back. Do they pay debts off? Do they keep some in savings? All of those questions, those are my people. I love to help people shuffle around credit and money and try to make the most sense so they can get to the next step in life. So my people are on Facebook, because it's the older demographics. But if you were going for the first time, they are more than likely on Instagram. TikTok, though it is fun.
I'm having trouble getting on. She's texting me.
What is her struggle?
With Zoom. Yeah. I'll see if I can help her. Okay.
See, I knew you would be helping eventually. 5 minutes and you're here and you're helping.
How do we know
She's
this,
trying to log
Michelle?
in. She said, "Doesn't it start at 10?" I said, "Yes, I'm here." And so
She was on there for a second.
Oh, minutes.
Yeah, she's just haven't. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so know who your audience is, the message you want to deliver, and then where is your audience, so you know where to be spending the money to deliver the message. Now, I will also, and this was an analogy that I shared yesterday in a class at Paragon. Everybody's gardening skills are different, and everybody's garden looks different. For me, I choose to use technology and for years I've gone wider versus garden in a small, very specific garden. right? But you can choose, do you want to grow your garden in potted plants on the back porch for you to enjoy for yourself in smaller quantities? Do you want to plow an entire field and garden a field, which means you're going to have help because you can't garden an acre without help? Do you want to garden in the backyard with a raised garden so you don't have to worry about weeds and dealing with all of that and you start with fresh dirt? Or are you like the challenge of trying to get the right dirt and the right mixture and all of that to grow straight in the ground? Like, you guys get to choose your garden to till, and to work, and to weed, and to seed, and to feed, and to water, and to babysit. It's your garden. And so I'm not here to tell you how to garden. I'm just here to show you one way that you can. And one of those ways is Facebook ads. But again, you have to know who your audience is and what you want your audience to do. And we'll go over that in these slides. If you have any questions or any experiences to share, please do so. Full transparency, because I'm just brutally honest about to a fault at times. But BJ and I have done Facebook ads. We know how to create the funnels. We know how to create the call to actions. We know how to try to get audience participation, and we know what we're looking for. But I've also played the Facebook algorithm game for so long, and I try to keep up with the Facebook algorithms as they change, that sometimes the message is best delivered in an organic post, timed right, using the right visual, using the right words. Hashtags don't necessarily matter on Facebook, so don't stress yourself out over picking hashtags. It does matter in Instagram, it does matter in TikTok, but it doesn't matter so much in Facebook. So just know that you don't have to post ads in order to get reach, but it is one way to get reach. So we'll go over that today. Again, this will be step by step in terms of showing you how to do it, but you'll get the slides so you can follow along and play with it yourself. I'm going to share screen, and we're just going to go straight into it. And you guys on Zoom, tell me when I have got the slides up. Again, it's really funky the way I have to do this from the laptop. All right, are we there? Y'all see the Facebook new rules and real estate ads?
Not yet.
What do you see?
You?
Well, that is what I want you to see. Is it still not up yet? Okay, let me,
I see it on my side.
you do? All right, refresh, Renee. I think you're.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, cool.
Fine.
All right. So today we'll cover why you would want to run a Facebook ad,
It's there.
understanding the Facebook ad objectives, the rules of targeting, in our industry specific, the real estate industry specific, because of fair housing, which of course is Fair Housing Month. So it's good that we're talking about that today. So between fair housing and ECOA, we are, you have to be really careful. And Facebook actually changed rules just for us. Aren't we special? And then creating your ad and choosing your audience, we'll go over that, your lead response and conversion, because at the end of the day, what's the point? Why are you spending money if you don't have a system for follow-up? And Facebook leads from Facebook is just like your leads that you have from Zillow. These are people considering, they're thinking. And most of the time, the conversation in the household starts 90 days before someone makes a decision to buy or sell. They haven't picked up the phone. They haven't talked to anybody about it. And they darn sure aren't saying it out loud, because you guys will have their houses sold before they even make a decision to sell. And so they're thinking about it and they're clicking buttons, typically at 90 days prior to actually picking up the phone or having a conversation. So I hadn't made a decision yet. And so your follow-up process has to be at least a really good 100-day trickle, stay in front of them follow-up without losing steam. You guys cannot lose steam on your old, on your cooler leads, because those will turn warm eventually. And then I can't read this last part. Oh, Facebook ad examples, so you guys can see what that looks like. Anybody have any questions this far, or some experiences that they want to share? Okay. Why run Facebook ads? If I were to post something organically, I'm taking a chance. I mean, it's going to be broadcast wide, right? That's like just spreading the seeds and not really paying attention to where they land. I'm not strategically placing the seeds where I want them to grow. I'm just throwing seeds out there when I do an organic post. I know how much my audience is. I know based on the kind of post that I'm posting, what I can expect. And you can't get caught up in the instant gratification of the emotions, the love, the laugh, and care. Y'all don't ever hit like. That does not help anybody at all. Love, care, laugh, please. Don't do sad or angry and like. Sad and angry will suppress someone's post. Like doesn't do anything for them. The best thing you can do for anybody that is your friend, your colleague, someone that you really want to help out is to comment, share, save, or love, care, or laugh. All of the other things do not help them out. So running a Facebook ad is like planting a seed where you know that you want the seed to grow.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How does the laugh and the care and stuff like that, how does that help out the folks?
Because Facebook feels like the faster people love, care, or laugh, share, or people engage through commenting, the faster they do that, the more their Facebook feels people care about that information. They want that information. And because of that, they will push it out to more people and they will allow more people to see it. If I post something at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's just a boring post and nobody says anything about it because everybody's sleeping, then that next morning, my post is likely not going to show up on any of y'all's news feeds because Facebook says nobody cared about what she had to say today. So we're just going to make sure that it's not going to even show up in anybody's newsfeed. It wasn't relevant today.
Is that a personal account and or business?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Now, liking or commenting or engaging on your own business account does not count. Sharing, like I'll post something on my personal and share it on my business because I want the information on there, but it's not helping me as far as the algorithms are concerned. All right, does that make sense? Does anybody else have any good questions? Gina was asking whether or not the algorithms was the same on personal as business in terms of engagement, and the answer is yes.
I found that if I share something to my business page, if I share it to my business page from some other site, say City of Sherman, and then I share that from my business page to the personal page, that I get a lot of reach.
You get more reach doing that than you do, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other is some.
Oh, I'll tell you guys in just a minute what Gina said.
The other is sometimes stories.
The stories matter too.
Aren't they pushing reels right now?
Facebook is pushing reels hard and heavy because they're trying to compete with TikTok. Facebook's also pushing stories because that competes with Instagram. You guys you got to think about it. They're all trying to compete. So whatever is hot on another social platform is where all of a sudden the algorithms will change with all of the other social platforms.
Funny, but
Yeah.
owns Instagram
Facebook owns Instagram and yeah, but and
It's all
still
meta.
it's all meta. Yeah. Gina was saying that whenever she, like, if she were to, like, for instance, TexomaConnect.com. All right, TexomaConnect.com is a website that you guys could go to that probably promotes anything that you're into. Because if you want to start branding yourself as a realtor that cares about family, then you would want to share more articles about family, more things to do, you know, like tie everything that you do around that. Well, Texoma Connect is a website that you guys could go to at any time and see what family friendly, maybe even free activities there are to do this weekend. Look at the weather, post, hey, we got a beautiful weekend ahead. If you're looking something for the family to do, here's some ideas for you. Share some ideas. And then in the comments, put the link to the article. Don't put the link to the article in the post. So if you were to do that and you do that on a weekly basis, people will start going to your Facebook to go see what there is to do in this area, right? Well, sharing that information. So if you were to share that information on your business page, and then so you post it on your business page and then go share it to your personal page, then you're sharing someone else's information. And so that helps that person or business. And in return, they might help you out. And chances are they'll go in there and comment, which is good engagement for you. So it's really smart for you to always share someone else's stuff. And then you share it to your personal page from your business. The algorithms are better doing it that way than the other way around. It's a game, y'all. It's a game. I never learned to play chess, but I feel like I could probably figure chess out because I'm figuring Facebook out.
I
Yeah.
actually go to my mom, brothers, sister-in-laws and text them and say, go right now. Whoever
No.
posted,
Debbie, that's smart. Do
so
that.
you'll go under my latest post and you'll see stir. That's great.
That's okay.
Awesome.
That's okay.
That's
You really should have a circle of people that you have in a group text that you trust that will help you out, that want you to succeed in business. You should have them in a group text that said, I just posted something really interesting. I need your help to get engagement. And text that to people and they'll go log in and help you out. That's what we're here to do. Put me on that list. I don't mind. I know how the game works and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Leverage relationships. All right, BJ, I know you're watching the chat and there's a couple of those 8 may just be for CE, but still. Facebook is still one of the largest platforms in terms of members or subscribers or users. Users, I think is the right word. 2.45 billion people are on Facebook. Monthly active users is 1.62 billion. But also still pay attention to the demographics of Facebook. And you can pull them up and look at them because it changes. Know where your audience is. Who is your audience and where are they? I mean, even to the point where you should know, you should visualize, you should have an emoji of what your audience looks like. And when you're speaking online, speak to that person, to that family specifically, and you'll attract more of that family specifically. But the purpose of running the ads themselves, I have got to get this little deal out of the way. Hang on just a second. Get away, go. Oh, well, now I got a problem. All right, never mind. The reason to run Facebook ads versus an organic post is you have control of where the seed is growing. So you can do the post to and create awareness. If you got a new brand, you're new in the business, maybe it's to create awareness. You could use it to increase your database. You can upload, you can export out of your CRM and import into Facebook, your database. And if you did that on a monthly basis, then if you're posting content that's relative to that person, to your database, they're going to see your post more likely, especially if you are engaging in their post. So you can increase your database also through ads. So if you know who your audience is and you're specifically posting to attract more of that, those are your people, you could create a database with those people. And there's some really cool algorithm games that you can play on the organic side once you use ads to create that database. And I'd be happy to do a one-on-one with somebody if they want to take it next level on all of that stuff. You can do it to generate leads because there's landing pages, and we'll go over that briefly. And then you have your repeat referral business. There, you can create your own friends list that's specific. Like I have a friends list that says past customers. So all of my past customers, whenever at the end of every month, I friend every one of my customers that will friend me back. And you can put them in their own customer list. People you engage with, so you could use the ad for a hook to build your network. And then you have a virtual relationship with your network of like-minded people or people that you want to serve, right? Well, if you create lists and you put them into lists, maybe you create lists based on a campaign you're running. You then can click on that list, and in the news feed, you would only see the post of the people on that list, which allows you then to engage with those people and have a virtual relationship with these people on this list. And you created that list from a Facebook ad. Is that starting to make sense where you guys can kind of see the full circle of it all? But then also every client you've ever served needs to be also part of your virtual network, just to stay connected. All right, so Facebook ads are ran on business pages. So does everybody have a business page? Okay. You don't have to get fancy with the name of your page. Your name is your brand. So don't worry about a cute little name. Just get yourself a business page though. But you have to run ads on a business page. You can't do it on a personal. And you want to have a really small budget till you figure it out so you're not throwing a bunch of money at Facebook. It's really tempting to go, oh, I'm going to spend $5 today. And then at the end of the day, you go, I'm going to throw $10 at it tomorrow. Well, there's 30 days in a month. If you keep doing that to yourself, you're going to spend a lot of money. So keep your budget small because you can reach a lot of people with a small budget. Remember, what's the point in generating leads? What's the point in being successful with an ad campaign if you don't have a good follow-up program? And if your follow-up program is not set up for you to be able to handle a bunch all at one time, why would you spend a bunch of money to get a bunch of leads if you don't have a follow-up program for that, right? So just be mindful of that because that follow-up process is really important. And then patience. You guys, these people did not raise their hand. They did not click on that button in most cases to buy or sell today. They're thinking about it. They saw something that you posted that was of interest to them. They noticed it. They clicked a button. Now it's up to you to turn that button clicking into a relationship that you nurture over time. So Facebook ads are often called the passive or interest-based ads because it is just to pique their interest, and then it's up to you to do something with that interest after you pique the interest. So understand the ad objectives. So you've got your three. You are working on awareness or that consideration, but when it's all said and done, it's all about the conversion, and the conversion is done in the lead follow-up. Since our first class on effective lead follow-up, has everybody signed up for a CRM? Your customer, it's the database software that you guys have. You have not? Debbie, put that on your your May list.
That's not,
It's not,
it's different.
yeah.
Make that your May. Don't worry about that now. You got a lot of stuff going on. Make that a May project.
You're telling me about yesterday, is that a CRM type thing?
It is a lead generator, and those leads would then go into your CRM. So it's another hook. All right, the awareness piece of it. So leads in the awareness stage are simply just toying with the idea of buying or selling. So just introduce yourself as a community expert. And you can't be an expert to everybody. So again, that's why I think it's really important you know who your audience is so you can be an expert to that audience. All right. So so you're going to do that through videos and images because people don't read unless it's a really interesting story. Videos and images really need to tell the story without them having to read. You're not selling anything on these ads. It is merely a hook to get people to see you for who you are and what you offer. People in the consideration stage. So you go from awareness to consideration, and then the whole goal is to convert them once they're ready. So people in the consideration stage have a plan to buy or sell a house and are considering options. So ads for those people needs to highlight listings, community live, tell your story, have them watch the video, answer common questions. I always say, when you know who your audience is, you know what their pain points are, you know what their struggles are, you know what problems they typically have. Speak to the problem so that they feel you have solutions. And maybe you don't have solutions to their exact problem, but they saw where you solved a problem close to their problem. And so they feel like you could probably help them solve theirs more specifically. And then the conversion. The conversion, it entices the people. It is the action piece of it. It is the whenever you are converting that lead, there actually is a link to fill out a form, or they'll click a button to call you and it will start ringing whatever phone you have associated with it. The conversion portion of it is all about the call to action. Not everybody is going to be at a stage in the process where they are ready to take action. So when you're running these ads, you need to decide, am I running this for awareness? Am I running it for conversion? Am I running it just for that whole communication connection, problem solving? They're still really not ready to make a decision yet. Figure out what you're running the ad for, because that part really matters. It's part of the strategy. All right, y'all want to see how to create these Facebook ads, or do y'all have any questions? All right, remember, this is in your business page. So there's the, and I'm going to have BJ chime in just a little bit because I watch her, and we actually hired one of the number one, I mean, he is just a Facebook ad guru to coach us how to do Facebook ads last year. And I'll be honest, some of it was over my head. And I know Facebook real well. That's why I had this class breaking it down for you guys really well. But there is a difference in the Facebook ads manager and the business manager. BJ, will you be more specific in terms of the differences? Do you remember?
I don't know if I can explain this or not, but I'll try. Your business manager has the whole suite of tools that you can use. The ads manager just manages your ads. So where the business manager might have, for example, a list of all the ads you've run, it might have your conversion ratios, it might have people who have watched your video, people who didn't watch your video, people who watched your video for 3 seconds, and the Facebook ad manager just shows you your ads.
Okay. So your business manager is more for your analytics. You guys, those analytics matter, like for my podcast, and that's a whole nother learning curve for me. Whenever I review the analytics for my podcast, is the same thing for the Facebook ads. You can drill down as specific as, did they click on iPhone? Did they click on an Android? Did they click at this time of the day or that time of the day? How old are they? What is their marital status? What is their income status in some cases? All of those analytics are available to you. So if you really want to get nerdy on your ads, from what BJ's saying, business manager is where you're going to go for all of that nerdy stuff. But it matters, because if you're showing a cute little fuzzy duckling with this little girl in the picture, and it's got, Easter bunny, and it gets all of this, attention, and you feel like it was a good ad, that it really delivered the message, look at your algorithms and see if your engagement look at your analytics and see if the engagement matches the analytics. It may have just gotten a bunch of engagement because it's so freaking cute, but the delivery of the message wasn't there. After they looked at the picture, they're like, oh, that's cute, and then moved on, versus reading what was actually in the ad itself. Does that make sense, you guys? There is a difference in engagement and getting the attention. So don't get wrapped up in being popular. If you're spending money, make sure that you're spending money reaching the people that you want to reach, and that people are actually doing something with the information. All right, so ad manager, and this is just showing you from your cell phone, because most people use Facebook from their actual phone.
Right.
So here's your iPhone shots of this. And again, you're going to get a copy of this, but the Facebook Ad Manager is another app you can install on your phone, so you can keep up with the ads that you're running and the results of those ads. So you can do it within Facebook, but they also have created an actual app for that to make it even easier. Now, if you're going to create an ad, you're going to go into your business page, into the Facebook Ad Manager, whether you do it from the app on your phone or you do it from your desktop. And you're going to go into Create and slide down to where you go to Create Ad. All right. Now, in that, you are going to do another drop down that gets you down to a point where you are clicking on Manage Ads. So you can see what that's looking like. Now, if you go to the Ad Center, you will also see all of the information in regards to the ads. This is all just based on the ads that have already been created. So again, you're going to go create, you're going to go add. Now, once you do that, because of the special class that we're in now, you need to make sure that you're creating you're selecting the category correctly. And I'll tell you from experience that if you don't, and if you say the wrong things, your ad will not get approved. We've played around and around. BJ, what did you find are some of the trigger words that we can't say? Do you remember?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to unmute.
That's okay.
Our challenge, for example, is because of the name of our company, they will automatically put us under credit. I don't care if I'm promoting this class, which has absolutely nothing to do with credit, or I'm promoting, anything else. They are going to slap us into credit regardless. And I even spent like 6 weeks with a representative from Facebook trying to do a workaround. And there isn't one. So just know that, that they're going to, depending on the headline that you use, which is the grab, that's what they're going to go to first. If you don't pass that, you're out. And then the content of what you're offering in the ad. And those two things will determine whether you just get to go to everybody and choose anybody you want, or whether you are limited by the things that you can. This whole thing is about targeting and not targeting, or redlining or any of those kinds of things. So I don't think you're going to have a lot of problem with that, because you're looking for an audience who is interested in buying or selling real estate. So you should be in that housing category.
Yep. And fortunately, because all of your giant internet lead companies have their own audience, you get to pick, you can pick, and I highly suggest you guys pick their audience, because they're already targeting to these people as a big box internet lead company. You can be that local expert targeting the same audience, but you're more that local friendly face. So I'll show you, you'll see in just a minute where you can be very specific and actually pick their audience, or use that to start picking your audience from. So, all right, you're going to choose housing because you guys are all in the housing business. Now you need to pick your objective. Are you doing this ad just for brand awareness and for reach? Maybe you're doing it to build your page. If you have a brand new page, Debbie, your first post may be, hey, I'm Debbie, I'm in real estate, and this is what makes me awesome, and this is why you should call me. Or this is what I'm all about. I ride bikes all over Texas, and I love riding the bike trails, and I love this area because we are starting to get bike trails, and I just am a champion of healthy lifestyle or outdoor living, or whatever the case may be. You're building that brand awareness, right? It's a brand new page, and you need people to like your page. So maybe your ad for a while is to build that audience, and just getting people to know who you are and why they should like your page, what they could expect from your page. Maybe for your whole brand is built around bike trails all over Texas and that whole lifestyle. And then people are going to just start to know you as the realtor who rides bikes. And so you could, so just really think, who am I? Who is my audience? Who do I like to serve? And be that, and create an awareness around that, and start building out your page. You may be doing an ad for consideration, for that traffic, for the engagement, for people to install. Like, I have a mortgage calculator. So anybody that's interested in knowing what mortgage pay, how the interest rates, rising rates affects their mortgage payment, I could post on there a link to download my calculator, right? Which is another way of generating. The home bot that I've been talking to some of you guys about. That's another, hey, listen, everybody's curious what their house is worth. The house next door just sold. How does it affect the value of your home? Click here and find out. Like, that is some of the engagement posts that you could be posting just to build an audience and to use it as a funnel to build yourself a database. These people may not buy today, but they might. But you'd never know if you don't reach out to them and get them to engage. You may be doing a post because you really want to convert people that are interested in doing something today to take action today. So you may be doing it for conversion. So know before you post that ad what your objective is, and Facebook's going to ask you. So it's in your face. It's not like it's something you can skip over and not pay attention to. All right, is everybody with me so far? All right. So once you know what your purpose for the post is, in this case, we chose brand awareness. Then you're going to go to, hang on. All right. So then your post is going to be based on its purpose. Y'all, this little Zoom window is wearing me out. Ha! All right, I knew if I pushed enough buttons, I'd get what I wanted. Sometimes that breaks stuff. Sometimes it works. Anyway, all right. So know then, if I were the audience that I'm trying to attract and I were to read this, would I take the actions that you are intending them to take? And if you're not sure, have someone else read over what you're fixing to post and say, how does this make you feel? What does this make you think? What does this make you do? Ask somebody if you are unsure. You're fixing to spend money. You don't want to spend money if it's not giving you what it is that you're looking for. All right. For some, huh?
A little hint is I like to create copy in Word so I can look at it and read it, spell check it, and make sure it's projecting, and then just copy and paste it into your ad.
Ooh, yeah. You guys, there's also a software we use. We use so many different software. So if you guys are looking for some, ask me. I've got so many subscriptions. I have a hard time keeping up with logins. But this one is called, they've changed their names. I'm going to call it by its old name, and BJ will correct me. But it's called conversions.ai, or AI, artificial intelligence. What it allows us to do is it goes out into the internet and comes back instantly with suggestions based on searchability of words or the arrangement of words to get people to engage, or you even put the tone of voice that you want to use in there and what your objective is, and it'll create your ad copy for you based on what people are searching for. Some people do a great way to build engagement and to build a database is to, I skipped over messages because the thing was in the way. That is a great way to run an ad. Message me for more information. Message me for, and share with me what your biggest struggle was the last time you moved. Something where, and you can, your call to action could be messaging, and then you get to really have conversations, which is a great way to connect. All right, so you guys, all right, the new rules for targeting. You got to think fair housing. So you guys have to be real careful about not avoiding the protected class. So I'll show you more specifically. So some of the things that were disabled in the housing section, whenever they created the housing section, which is how you guys are going to categorize your ads, these are some of the things that were taken out. Okay. For obvious reasons, I could see the benefit, but guess what? We don't get to use that because we're discriminating if we do. But there is those big, so you have to think other words that would cover some of the groups of people that you are looking for, right? You could, like, for instance, if I was going after first-time homebuyers, I might even choose to target PTAs, people that are in a PTA. Or, I mean, just think about where is my audience and what other groups might they be part of where I can target that group, because those are where my people are. But be thinking too, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com. Y'all, the tracking ability is so big. Like, for instance, in our HomeBot, there's a service that we have that is, oh my gosh, for anybody who is looking for an open rate and a way to stay connected to their database or a way to generate leads, see me for a one-on-one and I'll show you how to utilize this one software that we have. But the software also is called HomeBot. So anybody interested in buying a house, we put them in as a home buyer and they get all of the notifications, and it's tied to anyway, it's incredible. But what's really cool is now it'll track. If anybody that is a HomeBot user goes over to Zillow, then all of a sudden, all of my content, all of my contact information is going to overlay on top of Zillow. So if I were to target Zillow, and I have people going into HomeBot, they're going to see me everywhere. And so from a psychological standpoint, when they think money for a house, I'm going to pop up. And it's only because I'm using all of the tools and technology that we're talking about today. But if I were to do a Facebook ad and I go after the Zillow audience, knowing that the home bot is also tied to Zillow, then I just 10x'd it, right? I just made sure myself, I show up. I show up when they're thinking real estate.
How do you go after, I don't do any of that, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, how do you go after that?
Whenever you're doing your target ads, you will pick Zillow as your audience, Redfin as your audience. So those people that have already been targeted by Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com or Trulia, if you target their audience, then you're going to show up at the same places that they show up.
So that's, okay,
You'll be the local expert. They'll be providing articles.
okay. Thank you.
Think about keywords. These are like keywords. So if somebody is looking for a house, they're probably going to look on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, and maybe others. So those people are the same kind of people that you want to reach out to and connect with. So think of these as keywords. Keywords like first-time home buyer, house hunting, home search, first home.
You could go after HGTV. You could put in as a keyword HGTV, and people that are watching HGTV, that's an audience. Or any of those shows. If kitchens are your thing, I mean, what if you're a great cook? And so you're always looking in town for the best kitchens, right? And you always are talking kitchen and you're sharing recipes and you're just that realtor that cooks all the time and is always checking out the kitchen, knows everything about all the kitchen appliances. Then if I were running a Facebook ad and I was that realtor, I would be also, my keyword, my audience would be all the cooking shows.
And cooking videos, people filming themselves cooking are huge.
Yes, a realtor that cooks. And you could have your own business page, realtor that cooks. And then you, oh, I know, I'm giving hints to every one of you guys in the room based on your hobbies. Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, Preston, I'll go ahead and call him out since he went ahead and noticed I was talking about him. As his wheels start turning, I see the light bulb go off. Then Preston's thing could be every time someone buys a house, he throws them a housewarming party where he's the chef and they bring their friends in for a housewarming. He's the realtor that cooks. Chef Davis, however he wants to brand himself. But if I were him and that was who that was me, then when I was running a Facebook ad, I would be going after that audience, people that care about cooking too, right? And maybe he sells a house to someone who's also a chef. Well, what cool party would that be? 2 chefs, 1 kitchen? Hell yeah, I'm coming. Preston's not okay being sous chef, apparently.
That's why I'm not cooking anymore.
So creating your ad and choosing your audience is super important, but you got to know who your audience is. All right. All right. Now, you guys, even if you are, choose your budget wisely. Don't push the wrong digit because Facebook will spend your money fast. And don't, I mean, I highly recommend you don't put it on you could put a lifetime budget so that it doesn't exceed that dollar amount. So if you do accidentally push the wrong button one day, it's still not going to exceed that lifetime budget. All right. You can always increase the budget, but that'll keep you from accidentally spending too much. I get my Facebook ad receipts and I'm like, holy cow, I did not realize I did that. All right. Your custom audiences. So PJ, you want to take it from here?
Well, this is where you get to choose who your audience is made up of. So, of course, you don't want to discriminate against people based on personal characteristics. We're looking at people's wants and needs here. So things like where are they located? I mean, do you sell in Dallas? Do you sell in Sherman? Is your niche in Bonham? You know, what location? You could put city, county, state, United States. You can choose from a wide, and you don't just choose one, you get to choose a whole bunch. Age, automatic default for housing is 18 to 65,
Mhm.
and automatic all. So you can't just look for women, you can't just look for men. And then you get into your detailed targeting, and this is where you can say, I want them to be in the medical profession. I want them to be doctors or dentists, or I want them to be teachers, or I want them to work for ITI. So you can be very, very specific. You can't do zip code, but see that little circle?
Mhm.
That circle, you can narrow that circle, but you've got a minimum, I believe. This says 15-mile radius. Maybe that is the new one. I was thinking it was 25 miles of a selected city. So for example, if you picked Anna, that circle might also include things south of there towards the Metroplex, but it'll also include north of there and east of there, like Sherman, Denison, Van Alstine, whatever. So
Let
maybe
me
what that circle is.
let me take, you don't have to do it based on where you live. For instance, you guys, when you see an article that says that Amazon is moving from, I'm making this up, and maybe it's real, I don't know. Moving from Seattle to Austin, and you decide that you want to create a relocation program. You're going to do your own relocation program, and you're going to study all the pain points of relocating from Washington to Texas. What is the difference in climate? What is the difference in schools? What is what is different about it? What are the challenges, and what problems can I solve for people, right? So you could run an ad. You don't have to live in the area that you're running an ad. You can create a program. Just make sure that whenever those people come to you, you really solve their problem so they don't feel like you just duped them, right? But you can create a business around whatever it is that you want to create a business around and target them on Facebook through ads. All right, BJ, whenever I saw California, it made me think, and that's different than geofencing, which is another conversation. But Facebook ads allows you to be very specific about where your audience is coming from. All right. The difference, so distance between home purchased and principal residence is, look at that. Oh, I love stats. So people are, the mileage is, so the age group that is moving further away is the older age group. That makes sense. Because usually families are going to stay within a school district or that area. All right. Now y'all's your target audience. Man, every time on these surveys, I fail on the keeping on schedule. I have always so much information I want to share. We went over the target, so I'm not going to be quick there. Now you can do your automatic placement, which is probably best for right now until you really master the whole placement of ads. Just let it post automatically. You set your daily budget, but also I highly recommend a lifetime budget to keep yourself from accidentally clicking the wrong button. You can do a carousel, which would rotate pictures. You can do a single image, you can do a video, you can do a slideshow, and you can do Canvas. So this is an example of what a single would look like and what your headline is going to grab them. So make sure, again, like BJ said, play around with it in Word. But make sure and check with others to see if it's giving them the same feelings and they are encouraged to take the action that you want them to based on the purpose of your ad. And you choose your call to action. That button could be the call button. It could be the message button. It could be the apply button, or you can now even sync up your calendar and it could have a schedule an appointment with me button. Interested in looking at this house, click this button to schedule a showing. It's that freaking simple, y'all. You could have a picture of your new listing. Let's look at it today, whatever, and have a button that says schedule an appointment, and it goes straight to your calendar, and they'd schedule on your calendar. Just be sure if you're going to do that, that you set boundaries on your calendar and you block the times out that you don't want to be showing. If you know that your son's got a ball game or practice, you better block it out on your calendar. I teach a calendar class, and that's my favorite subject. So anybody that wants to know how to set a calendar up to succeed, ask me. Yeah, I'll help you out. That's my favorite. You listen to my Life by Design podcast. Listen to that one, and then we'll do calendar because it'll make more sense. Danny's over here shaking his head because he listened to that one. All right. You guys are going to get the slide, so I'm going through here super fast so that you guys have enough time to ask a couple of questions. So you guys, again, like I said, you can upload people into your Facebook from your database. You can also export from Facebook into your database. So think of Facebook as a way to grow your database. If you're new to the business and you do not have 50 people to put in your CRM, which you do, I promise if I ask you enough questions, you have at least 50 people. You really, in order to make a good living, you need 250 people in your database that you are staying in contact with in a nurturing, loving, real way, not fake way. You get any more than that, and it's just too hard to put your arms around that many people. All right. So you can see how you can use Facebook ads to create a database, and then you can even import into MailChimp and start sending them a letter of the heart from there once a month, or any kind of newsletter that you're wanting to send. All right, so and this is just going through that whole process. So you guys, again, we'll get the slides so that you can see how to convert people into a database. Again, it's step by step to show you. Now, your post engagement, this is where you're going to be able to go, and this is the ad manager. That it's an app you can put on your phone, or you can use it from the desktop version of Facebook to see how well your ad's performing. The one thing I will guard you against, just be patient, because sometimes these ads just take a little bit. But sometimes what we'll do is we'll create the same ad with different pictures and see how the different pictures make the ads perform differently. They will, because people will click, they'll pay attention based on the picture. Pictures matter. And Melissa's over here. She's an amazing photographer, and I don't know if she's doing those services, so I'm not going to promote her services that way.
Love me right now
because you're tied up. You're busy. You're employed. Yeah.
Shoot to Sell has got me tied up.
Okay. Well, all right. Shoot to Sell is where you can find Melissa. She does an amazing job, and she understands y'all's industry. And I met her because. Okay, never mind. Golly, I am overselling her big time. But I met her.
Here's the thing, Michelle, what you didn't know is I'm actually with Martin Home Team as their coordinator now. Gina knows because she called them and said, I need you to shoot. And I said,
I can't. Yeah. All right, never mind. But Melissa, so the point's still the same. I just oversold your services. But anyway, the quality of your pictures matter. So you guys be very careful whenever you're posting those pictures. It's part of your brand.
I'll tell you what I can do.
What?
After they get their pictures done,
Yeah.
I can tell them which ones to ditch and which ones to keep.
Okay, there you go. All right. So the picture matters. That's what's going to, pictures is what gets people's attention. Better yet, get yourself on the camera and do a video. Like, seriously, people, how you talk on the camera is how you talk in person. So get over it and get on camera. And we're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. I've got Deborah Bird coming. Man, let me tell you, she's a spitfire. She travels all over the United States talking about social media strategies. So you guys, it will be golden nuggets the entire time. Just plan on being there 2 hours. I'm going to block extra time. It's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks on our.
Yeah, it's the last of the series.
And I really want to come to that one, but
Nope, I will not put anybody on the spot unless I get
That was
permission
my
ahead of
big
time.
Worry.
Yeah, no.
All
I-
of us.
I would not do that. I would not put anybody on the spot like that. But anyway, so you guys pay attention to the performance of your ads, but know that sometimes it's just a matter, maybe the words were just fine. Change out the picture and see what happens first before you rewrite the whole entire thing. And just remember, it's all about responses. This is the one slide that I want you guys to take a picture of in your brain or take a picture with your phone. When you're doing online lead generating, response time matters big time. Your conversions greatly diminish if you don't respond within a minute. So if you can't respond, make sure you have an autoresponder on of some kind. Because if you don't respond, you just wasted money. So look at that. If you wait just 3 minutes, look at the difference in the conversion. So you guys don't ask for more than you can handle. If you're going to be on vacation, don't post an ad. If you're going to be, I mean, I've got a grandbaby coming on Sunday. I would not be posting an ad that says that I'm available because I don't know how much and when I will be available. So be very careful. You're spending money. And then have a really good follow-up program. And here's one. It starts with call, text, email, and then call again. Here, if you will take a picture of this, this will be very helpful for you too. If you're gonna convert leads, you gotta be serious about it. Don't do it if you're not.
Hold on, we're gonna do-
It's in your, you guys will get a copy of the slide too, but this is just a little bit easy. I mean, if y'all have it on your phone, you won't forget it. All right. So then there's other software programs that will enhance the experience and help you out. But I just, right now, I need just you guys just to dip your toes in it. Spend $5 and play around with it. I'll tell you, puppies, kitties, and babies, people will pay attention to. Or video. Puppies, kitties, babies, or yourself talking about what it is you're passionate about. People can feel your passion. So if you are passionate about something, create a video about it, get over yourself and don't worry about watching it, just post it. All right, here's a couple of examples of Facebook ads before we wrap up. And again, you guys are going to get copies of this stuff. That call to action was learn more. If someone clicked on the learn more, there's probably a form that they would fill out. It would capture their information and then put them into a drip campaign. Most of you guys have a CRM that whenever they enter into the CRM, automatically information gets sent to them. So you could create different campaigns in your database CRM specific to Facebook ads, Zillow, lead, whatever. All right. The other thing I want to caution you about too, whenever you're setting this stuff up, and this is like one of these things where you just go with your laptop and a pen and paper and peace and quiet and really think through, who is my audience? What do I want them to know about me? And then how do I want them to stay in touch with me and build out a program accordingly? You don't have to do it all, and you're not going to do it all well. So dip your toes in and know you're going to screw it up, but it's okay. You can tweak it until you figure it out. But you'll have in your packet some examples of different things. You'll notice the call to action and how you can be using that differently. So again, just be really sure about what the purpose of the ad is. Leverage the interest of people that is your ideal audience. And I can't stress the importance of you guys just being who you are. Attract more of what it is that you want to work with based on the messaging. And the messaging is solving their problems. But you got to know your audience well enough to know what their problems are. And then create the custom audiences through the retarget. Figure out, where are my people? How can I find them in groups? and use that as your keywords whenever you're creating the ad. And then have a good lead follow-up program, because what's the point in spending the money if you're not going to follow up with people? And then last but not least, use technology to help you. You can't do it all. You can garden with flower pots on your back porch. You can garden with a little raised flower bed in your backyard. You can garden in the ground. You can garden in a whole 1 acre. If you're going to do a 1 acre garden, you better get some help. And sometimes doing these Facebook ads is like putting in a 1 acre garden. So you're going to have to use tools and technology to keep up. Or just do it in a small way. Just do some ads just to build your business page. And then take it organic from there and get people to know you, to like you, to trust you. So don't overthink it. Don't jump in the deep end all at one time. Just get your toes in the water and just start experimenting. And if you do it wrong and you spent $5 doing it wrong, who cares? Just don't spend big money until you get it figured out and you have a good follow-up program. So I apologize that we're 10 minutes late. That was a lot of information in a short period of time. Next week, we're going to talk about Instagram, which is a little bit different than Facebook. And I don't think it's Instagram ads, is it, BJ?
No, it's just, it's Instagram for real estate.
Okay. So we'll talk about Instagram. I have been playing with the Instagram for the last 2 years. I push myself out the comfort zone all the time. I get myself into jams, but that's just my personality. When I take the strength finder test, my biggest strength is a catalyst. I'm just big for change. I'm okay with that. I'll stir the pot and make things happen and see where the dust settles. It's okay with me. Not everybody is that fearless when it comes to new and different. And that's why I'm sharing these experiences with you. I'll tell you everything I did wrong and what I'm still doing wrong. There's a lot of it. I'll tell you guys based on my experiences, the better way of doing it, because sometimes I get myself in a big old whirlwind of mess and not legally. I stay on the legal side of things, but I do stir up quite a mess that BJ a lot of times cleans up for me because I can't even figure out how to get myself out of the mess. Anyway, so we'll go over Instagram for business. The last in this success series is video marketing, but we'll also talk about strategy because the strategy really matters. You guys could be great at all of this stuff, but if your strategy is wrong, nobody's going to see it. And then you just wasted time and money. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Does anybody have any questions before I log off? You guys on Zoom, is the experience okay on Zoom? I mean, you guys keep coming back, so I'm assuming that you're learning something.
I think
cool.
it's great, very helpful.
Okay. Are y'all overwhelmed or are you guys going, I can try this?
This one was a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, but guess what? Guess what, Renee?
What?
I'm a phone call or a text message away.
Girl, you're like across the street. What are you talking about?
I'm across the street. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm really happy to help. The one thing I really enjoy is just seeing everybody be the best that they can be. So anything I can do to help you guys in y'all's business, just let me know.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Y'all know what I'm fixing to go do? Get my tennis shoes on and go throw some weights around.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. Have a good one.
All right. Bye, Christy.
Bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Michelle.
Bye.